Welcome, one and all, to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Well, today, there really is just one big story. America's stepdaddy is angry. See, Trump and Congress have been in a standoff over investigation. Until now, Trump has blocked every request made by House investigators. And Democrats, them they're Democrats, they got a painful case of the blue subpoenas. So this is leading to more and more of them Democrats to throw up their hands and call for impeachment. So this morning, Nancy Pelosi held a meeting to calm down her caucus. And she emerged to say this.
We believe that no one is above the law, including the President of the United States, and we believe that the President of the United States is engaged in a cover-up.
It's called bronzer, Nancy. It's a cover-up. It's called bronzer, Nancy, and he's not fooling anyone. After that, thought I could beat him. Don't know what to do. After that, Pelosi and Chuck Schumer headed over to the White House for a pre-scheduled meeting on their infrastructure deal. If you remember a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month, the Democrats proposed a $1 trillion infrastructure deal, and Trump said, "Why not $2 trillion?" So they said, okay. And today it was just supposed to be hammering out the details and then Venmoing the cash with a little bridge emoji or something like that. Didn't work out that way. According to people in the room, Trump walked in, didn't shake anyone's hand or take a seat, and left before anyone else could speak. All told, it was over in 3 minutes. According to Stormy Daniels, that's 2 bonus minutes. But now, Trump walked out the door straight to the Rose Garden for a nationally televised hissy fit, complete with a podium adorned with a pre-printed sign that said, "No collusion, no obstruction." Right over the seal, right? Just blocking up the seal, just absolutely right over it. Just very presidential, I gotta say, very presidential. Yeah. Reminds me of that time that Jefferson addressed the Continental Congress behind a sign that said, "Sally Hemings, just a friend." Trump started the whole kit and caboodle by explaining why the infrastructure meeting was so short.
I just wanted to let you know that I walked into the room and I told Senator Schumer, Speaker Pelosi, I want to do infrastructure. I want to do it more than you want to do it. I'd be really good at that. That's what I do. But you know what? You can't do it under these circumstances.
So Trump has a clear stance on infrastructure. It's my way or no highways. Trump was...
That's about right.
That sounds right.
That sums it up.
Right.
Yeah.
Trump was furious about the Democrats' ongoing efforts to be Congress, and he drew a line in the sand.
So I've said from the beginning, right from the beginning, that you probably can't go down 2 tracks. You can go down the investigation track, and you can go down the investment track, or the track of let's get things done for the American people.
Okay, we just counted 3 tracks, and it still went off the rails. Here's the deal. The source of Trump's rage was Nancy Pelosi's meeting this morning and growing calls to remove him from office.
All of a sudden, I hear last night they're going to have a meeting right before this meeting to talk about the I word. The I word. Can you imagine?
I can. I'm imagining it right now, and that's why Jim's shooting me from the waist up. Solid family kick. Then Trump let us know that he's denying Congress's constitutional powers for a noble purpose.
If someday a Democrat becomes president and you have a Republican House, they can impeach him for any reason, or her. Any reason. We can't allow that to happen.
We can't have a world where Republicans impeach a Democrat for something everyone does, like lying about cheating on your wife or her wife.
The president also defended his son, who has been subpoenaed by the Senate.
My son, Don, who's a good young man, who's gone through hell.
I mean, he had me as a father. That could not have been easy. That's a rough, that's a tough road to hoe.
Oh, my goodness.
Then he rambled on about the phone calls that Don Jr. made after the meeting with Russians at Trump Tower. Now, we didn't know what these phone calls were. It's long been suspected that one of those calls was to his father to tell him about the Russians. But that's all cleared up now.
3 calls. After massive study at work, they actually found who made the calls. One was a friend of ours, a real estate developer. Great guy, most of you know him. Nice guy, loves our country. And the other one was the head of NASCAR, 2 of them.
2 of them. What about the third call?
Look, I've been accused of eating 3 pies, but I haven't eaten any pie. Want proof? Here's 2 of the pies. Now, does anyone have any floss? Because I got a lot of rhubarb in my teeth.
But this speech,
Never rub another man's rhubarb.
Oh, my goodness. I don't touch that rhubarb.
but this speech was unusual because for once, Trump actually read from his notes.
I have 19 special counsel lawyers, 40 FBI agents. I said, open it all up. Let them have whatever they want. Nearly 500 search warrants. Think of that, a search warrant. Did you ever see a search warrant before? Neither did I.
I have a feeling you're going to be seeing some more. Trump. Trump was reading off a so-called fact sheet about the Mueller investigation his team handed out to the crowd. Now, they got this fact sheet from ABC News. But here's the thing. They conveniently left out the second page, which included information like 7 guilty pleas, 6 Trump associates charged, 4 people sentenced to prison, and a criminal presidency.
Three wedding rings.
Using only half of that graphic is like writing a review after watching only half of Titanic. I enjoyed the big ship and the sex in the car. I smell a sequel. Then it was the Democrats' turn to have a press conference, and Nancy Pelosi called Trump out for not having what it takes to get a deal done.
We had hoped that we could give this president an opportunity to have a signature infrastructure initiative to create jobs, to improve the quality of life, to just do so much for our country. For some reason, maybe it was lack of confidence on his part, that he really couldn't match the greatness of the challenge that we have.
Wow, questioning his confidence. It seems President Trump couldn't rise to the challenge of putting up long bridges and deep tunnels. It happens a lot to presidents his age. Later in the day, Pelosi was at a different event, and she raised the stakes.
This is why I think the president was so steamed off this morning, because the fact is, in plain sight, in the public domain, this president is obstructing justice, and he's engaged in a cover-up. And that could be an impeachable offense.
What? What'd she say? A pizza of fishes? Just say it, Nancy. Stop teasing us. Hey, kids, get in the car. We're going to Disney. Store.